And welcome back. We are now going to move into the phase where we can create an animated backdrop to help bring this ninja character to life. So if you look in this exercise, I've gone ahead and exited the ninja here. So you can see I'm no longer within this ninja layer. And I want to go ahead and add some frames in here to see this ninja in action. So if we recall, if I go inside that ninja, we have about roughly 30 frames of animation that we're working with here. So I want to go ahead and make sure I insert enough frames to appropriately have that animation go all the way through. And I imported this backdrop and put that on its own layer. And what I want to do is fill this bottom here. You notice I didn't fill this in, but I want to kind of fill it with the same kind of shadow color that I have here. So what I'm going to do for that is I'm just simply going to grab the fill bucket tool. But I want to use the eyedropper to grab this color here that is being used for these trees. And if I go ahead and try to paste in that background there, you can of course see it doesn't want to do that because I need to switch first to my rectangle tool and I want to just simply fill it in. Make sure that though I don't have a stroke on this because I don't want to have a line there present. And I'm just simply going to go ahead and put this over top of this region. Now, if it didn't grab the right color, we can of course always just try to re-eyedrop that color to try and find a color that's a little bit more fitting here for what we're doing. And it's okay if, again, you have a little color variance between these two, simply just because it may not be a 100% match. You could have a color tone that's a little darker, a little lighter. But again, just putting this here helps put some ambience of where the ground is. And then we can even grab our selection tool here to do things like bend this background a little bit and stuff like that to kind of help give it some different feel and texture. And we can then, of course, manipulate this into such a way where it blends much more seamlessly with that background once we start bending that into place. But what we really want to do is add in some animation in this background. So of course we have the character moving, he's on his flight path, he's throwing his ninja star, the shuriken is flying across the screen, but what's if we wanted to really add another layer to this? What's if we wanted to maybe add some rain or add in, for example, some snow? I'm thinking though, in this case it's nighttime, so we could even do things like fireflies or something like that we could have dancing in the night here. But to set that up, I'm just going to go ahead and go to the layer above the ninja. And let's go ahead and make that our animated piece here. Now, for this example, I'm just going to do something really simple. Again, you can change it up. You could do snow, you could do rain, whatever you want to do, fireflies. But let's just do something pretty simple here and just go ahead and import something that we can use. So to accomplish that, I'm going to go ahead and import for this example. I'm going to use this rain. And you can see now we have this nice big rain effect. But you can see it's also bigger than our canvas. So I'm going to zoom out here just so I can see this properly. And I want to make it so this rain is pretty much effectively always coming down. So I'm going to first have this rain start above because I want this to transition through the image. And it's coming at an angle, so I'm actually going to angle this outward just a little bit. And then let's just go ahead and set this up with a motion tween here. And all I want to do is have this come down so that way it's coming in at an angle. So it just looks like it's striking through our ninja here. So go to the last frame, pull this down. And if we play that, we can see how that rain is coming down. Now, the only problem with this rain currently that we have is that you can see that it's not continuous. It looks like it's just falling in one big sheet. So we do need to kind of address that so that it looks more like a continuous rain rather than just like this single sheet that's just falling down. So let's go ahead and just simply duplicate this layer here to effectively create a looping effect of this. Because again, this rain is not going to come in into one big sheet and then just disappear. So I'm just going to go to layer 3 here. And I want to pretty much just copy and paste this layer here. So if I copy this layer and let's go ahead and paste it, we of course now have duplicated it. And I want to work on this new layer 3 here. So I'm just going to grab this rain and all I'm going to do is pull it straight down so that it looks like there's a sheet of rain that's permanently continuously coming in front of this ninja here. And so now you can see there's one big sheet of rain. We don't have any of those gaps there. And I'm just going to jump to that last frame of animation that we have. And all I want to do is pull that down so that way it's just coming off the screen so that way it is disappeared effectively. And so now when we play this animation, you can see that the rain comes down. Now we do have some kind of gaps falling in our animation here. As you can see, looks like we have some empty spots here. And we could, of course, fill that in very easily. We can simply just go to a layer and duplicate that again. And with this new layer that I've just duplicated, you can see it's filling in this zone. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab that last section here, and I'm just going to go ahead and pull it into this spot over here. And then go to my end frame. And I just want to pull that over just so it kind of disappears, but again, filling in that gap there that we had. Now, of course, we do have that gap kind of appearing as we play through. We have some gaps appearing at the top, so I probably actually need to duplicate this original layer as well, so I can make sure that this new layer is filling in those gaps that we are creating. So we could, of course, create one that kind of falls over here and fills in this area, or we could have one, again, that kind of functions by working over here. So I'm just going to move this one over here and go to the end frame. And I'm just going to drag that over so it fills that gap in. And that's looking pretty good. We do have, of course, this nice big gap of rain at the top. So it's very easy to simply just do, again, we can look at these layers and simply just duplicate them to get the desired effect that we want. So I could have this one at the very beginning. Move this one over and up so it's above everything. And then when we get to the end animation, I'm going to grab that one and have it be used to fill the top of this rain here. All right. Now let's just see how this looks. So we're just going to go ahead and run this as a test. So let's go ahead and just open up a test movie. And you can see here's our ninja. He's throwing that in the rain. So that actually looks pretty good here with that animated backdrop. Now, of course, you can play around with this. You could do something else. So, for example, if you didn't want to do rain, maybe you wanted to draw fireflies that are blinking in and out. But this is a real quick animation, and we are now at the point where we have a nice, good animation that we can use here.